seen a Georgia Tech game, Georgia Tech Clemson, and you watch Georgia Tech through the years, right? And then how many times have you seen that fullback just right up the middle? You know, the play that everybody hates. Why we keep running it up the middle, and it's been very effective for Georgia Tech. Well, if you're on the defensive side, that's about as bad as it gets to have to witness that fullback up the middle. That's what the shovel is for teams that don't run the triple option. So that was a pretty miserable day to watch 13 of them go for 74 yards and kind of put us on our heels. But I think we had good success after Ohio State, Virginia Tech, South Carolina. Alabama was smart enough not to put it in. Yeah, Wake Forest tried it. So, yeah.
But is that the fun part of coaching, though?
If you see it again, zoom in on the Coach V. You want to see how I feel about it. And when we stone it, you're going to see, a very small celebration. So.
What do you have to do technically to stop the shovel option?
Just be disciplined. Sit, squeeze, close. You know, they got a guy running away from you in your face. And he's like, you're supposed to see ball, get ball, attack. And so it goes against see ball, get ball. It goes against attack. And so you got to play very disciplined, sit on the line of scrimmage.
Coach, is it a sigh of relief that, you guys finally got a national championship? And how do you stay motivated going into this year?
I don't look at it that way, because to me, to me as a coach, I want to see improvement. I want to see guys get better from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. I want to see us maximize what we are, what we're capable of being. And the relief always comes at the end of the year when the year's over and you're done with recruiting. And every year you have that. I don't put this pressure like this win at all costs. If you don't win the national championship, it's your failure. And so we finally won it, and now, okay, everything's great now. Every season's a season of its own, and every year's different. And sometimes you're built for it, and sometimes you got to luck into it, and sometimes you have no chance whatsoever. And that's the reality of it. And but I just, for me personally, I'm just very proud to have an association with it, to see the pride. And the joy that people of Clemson had as a result, but most of all just for the Clemson players. I know the fulfillment and the legacy that those guys leave. Their lives as former Clemson players will never be the same. And it's pretty cool to see them be able to experience that.
This is year 6 for you. Is this the most depth you've ever had at linebacker?
I don't know. Again, and not a lot of guys have played a ton. Jalen and Kendall and Dorian, probably my most experienced guys. And Skowski played just a little. Chad played just a little. Trey played just a little. Davey played a little bit. Judah played a little bit. I don't know. Again, I just, because the depth is, to me, is experienced, proven. It's, somebody can go in for Kendall Joseph and where every bit is good, there's no drop off. I don't know that today. I don't know that. And we might be, but I can't say that that's the case.
Coach, you had Balin and Logan in the spring. Can you talk about some of these guys that just got to campus and how excited are you to get your hands on them?
Well, Balin really surprised me. Balin was an athlete, played quarterback, receiver, played some corner, played a little bit of safety. They played him as the Wildcat guy at Calhoun, comes from a great program, but never really majored or settled in anything. And so to say, all of a sudden, you're going to be this great linebacker in the first spring on campus in college would have been a stretch. And he really exceeded our expectations, one with his knowledge, his feel, his ability to get off the blocks, something they hadn't had to do a ton. And then he really was a physical player this spring. And tough guy, easy to coach, very mature. A lot of guys, they come in and they have to mature. And he's still maturing, but it was really effortless to coach him this spring. So I was really pleased on a lot of levels with Balin. And I think he can play more than just the one position. You have to kind of zero in on something day one and the first time on the field, but we'll look at him in the future to move around some. And then Logan, he played 1 year high school football on defense, and was at the end. And then so the first time he ever lined up at linebacker was this spring here, and man, he was just terrific. Said very little, worked incredibly hard, knew what to do. Found the football, played super physical, and played incredibly hard. A lot of times when you don't know what you're doing, you're out of your comfort zone, you don't look like you're playing hard. You look like you're jogging. That's more the norm than not, and with Balin it was full speed, wide open. And he plays very desperate, again, easy to coach. He's got good quickness and great physical toughness. And we're going to look him, because of the things that happened with Jurgen, we're going to look at him at the end as well. And, something that he did very well in high school. So he's been working nonstop to bridge that gap in, his knowledge base and being ready for fall camp.
Brett, how have you've had the same faces in the coaches' room most of the way on this climb? How have Mickey and Todd fit into the group dynamic?
Oh, great! They're both humble guys, hardworking, very intelligent, passionate. Not big egos, so they've been able to blend in. They paid attention. When they, Todd, when he was here at multiple camps in the summertime, and certainly Mickey being in our meeting rooms for the last couple of years, understanding our defense and our schemes, they fit in very well. And to this point, it's been real seamless. And to me, how you're defined as a coach is how you're able to help your players. And so it's one to know the playbook and to be able to teach it in an orderly fashion. Now the experience of what Hobby and Dan Brooks had was pretty special. And so many times they had been there, done that. And matter of fact, they had already planned ahead of it because one, they know the ACC, they know schemes, they know our defense, they know their players, their strengths, their weaknesses, and so you plan ahead and plan accordingly to attack those issues well before you get to those points. And so that'll be, that part of it will be work in progress because we're not there yet, and you don't have that experience with your players at the same depth level.
It's a little bit odd